With Momentify, the data that you capture, your leads, your sessions, your interactions at events, facilities, you have the ability to interact with that data. A common way that we would do that is with integrations. You can connect with an external tool that you use within your ecosystem. But when that doesn't work for you, if you need a more custom experience, there is now the developer tab. And inside here, there's an API keys table. And so what we're going to be able to walk through today is the generating a client ID and secret so that you can make use of the REST APIs that we have to get access to your data. So we're in a test workspace here, and I'm going to show you creating a new application. By default, we have this machine to machine. So this would be what you would generally do like in a back-end service to be, pull in leads, let's say, for an event that happened that day or whatever. And so in here, I'm going to just for the example here, I've just put test as the name of the application. This is important. You're going to want to reference this later so you know maybe who you gave this key to, so that if you ever need to revoke it, you kind of know who has access to which key. So make sure you name this appropriately and you keep track of that. And then there's different scopes that are available. So if you just want, let's say that that external developer to have access, let's say, to leads, and at that, just reading, leads and sessions, then this would be, the bare minimum. And I'd encourage you to keep this as small as possible. For this example, though, I'm just going to make it wide open so that I can kind of, play around with it later as we show it. So this would give this, developer the ability to have full access to essentially any of the endpoints, any of the resources, reading them, creating, performing any sort of an operation. So at this point, we're creating that client, and this is the ID that's generated and the secret that goes along with it. So you see this note here. It's very important that you keep track of this because this is the only time you're going to see this. After you hit done, you're pretty much sunk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy this and paste it in another little file here. But I encourage you to make sure that you share this with whatever developer is using it in a secure means only. So at this point, I'm going to say done. And so you can see that this API key was created, the scopes that are available to it, the name of it. You can go in here and also edit these things later. The key itself, you won't be able to ever see those ID or secret, but you can edit some of the details in it. So at this point, I'm going to pull up Hopscotch, which is a tool similar to Postman that you can use for testing. And I'm going to click the token here. And what I'm going to come into is this authorization tab. And I'm going to take my client ID, which now you can see, but I will delete this, so not for long. And I'm going to send it. So at this point, we're going to, based on the client ID and secret, we're going to ask for a JOT token, a token that's going to be used for every subsequent request later to get access to those different resources. So I'm going to copy that. And for me, I have it all set up kind of as environment variables. So I'm going to take this in here. I'm going to paste it into the token secret. So now if I go back to any of these endpoints, I can say, let's say sessions, and I'm just going to go ahead and just send this with the default as is. And you'll see, yep, here's my data coming in. So there's 131 records, session records. And then these are all the properties associated with it. And then there's different properties, like if you want to populate the lead, I'll turn that on. I'll show you what that means. So essentially this is a session, but inside a session, it's possible that there's a lead assigned to it. And so this gives you the ability to pull those in. Let's say you don't care about smart properties, then I can also turn off smart properties and I can send that as well. And so you'll still see that lead come in, but different smart properties. In addition, you have limit and offset, which is used for paginating the data. And then lastly, this after property. And this is going to be critical if you're running, let's say, a nightly script. You're going to want to update this one to, refer to the appropriate time. So you only get the sessions back in your workspace related to that time range. So that's pretty much it. So at this point, there's because we gave access in those scopes, you can see other information about your workspace. You can fetch information about an event. Now I didn't grab an event here, so I'd actually have to come over here and grab an event. But anyways, I think that's probably enough for now. Happy coding.